It sucks when you're in love and you slowly realize you're the only one trying to make it work. You keep giving, hoping, fixing, while the other person just exists. No effort, no change, no care. And the worst part? You start blaming yourself. You start thinking, maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I'm expecting too much. But deep down, something feels off. You feel like you're dragging this relationship forward while they're just sitting there watching you drown. The first sign? You're always the one apologizing, even when you didn't do anything wrong. Every fight ends with you saying sorry just to make peace. You're scared if you don't, the silence will stretch too long and they'll pull away more. So you fold, over and over. You shrink yourself, your voice, your needs, and they get away with everything. The second sign? You initiate everything. You plan the dates, you send the good morning texts, you check in when they're quiet. You're the emotional glue holding it all together. But here's the brutal truth. If someone wanted to talk to you, they would. If someone wanted to fight for you, they wouldn't need to be reminded. You shouldn't have to beg for love that's supposed to be mutual. And the third sign? You're scared to bring things up. Every time you express how you feel, it turns into a fight. Or worse, they act like you're the problem. So now, you keep everything inside. You overthink every word, every emoji, every silence. Your relationship feels like a minefield. And guess what? That's not love. That's fear dressed up as loyalty. Let's talk about the fourth sign. You feel more alone with them than you do by yourself. That's crazy, right? Being next to someone who says they love you but still feeling empty. You try to share things with them, your day, your stress, your thoughts, but they barely respond. Or they change the subject. Or they say, "Can we not do this right now?" And little by little, you stop sharing. You start bottling up everything because you know they won't hold space for it anyway. Fifth sign, you keep making excuses for their behavior. They're just busy. They've been through a lot. They're not good at expressing feelings. Stop. You are not their therapist. You are not their parent. You are their partner. And partners meet halfway. When you're the only one bending, adjusting, stretching, just to keep them comfortable, you start losing yourself. And when you lose yourself in love, you forget how to stand on your own. Here's a scary question. How many times have you cried alone after texting them something important and getting no response? Or worse, a cold one-word reply. "Okay, cool, whatever." Your heart is screaming and they respond with nothing. That silence? That's a sign. You deserve to be heard. You deserve someone who leans in, not pulls away. And maybe you've started lying to your friends about how things are going. That's sign number 6. You downplay the fights. You leave out the bad stuff. You pretend everything's okay because you don't want them to say, "You deserve better." But a part of you knows they're right. You're just not ready to let go yet. The seventh sign? You imagine leaving, but you never do. You picture it at night, like a movie in your head, packing up your heart, walking away, breathing again. But then morning comes and you're right back in it, answering their dry texts, laughing at their half-effort jokes, hoping that maybe today will be different. It never is. And here's the most painful part. When you finally break down, when you finally say, "I can't do this anymore," they suddenly act like they care. They get all emotional. They say they'll change. They cry. They apologize. They promise. And you think, maybe this is the turning point. But it never lasts. It's not real change. It's survival mode. They only fight when they realize you're serious about leaving. But where were they every other day when you were slowly fading? If this feels familiar, I want you to hear this. You are not too much. You are not too needy. You are not hard to love. You're just trying to grow something in a place where the soil is dry, and that's not your fault. You can't fix a relationship alone. Love is not built on guilt, silence, or sacrifice. It's built on effort, on honesty, on mutual care. You are allowed to stop fighting when you're the only one bleeding. You ever feel like you're holding up an entire building, but the other person's not even helping hold one wall? That's what being the only one fighting feels like. You're exhausted, but still showing up, still texting goodnight, still asking if they're okay, even when you're not. That's not love. That's emotional survival. And maybe you keep going because you're scared of the emptiness that might come if you let go. But let me tell you, being alone is hard, sure. But being unseen while you're with someone, that's lonelier than anything. You know what else happens when you fight alone? You start shrinking. You stop dressing the way you like because they never noticed. You stop sharing your favorite music because they don't care. You stop doing silly things that make you happy because they roll their eyes. Slowly, piece by piece, you become smaller. And one day you look in the mirror and you don't even recognize yourself anymore. That version of you, the happy, bright, expressive version, deserved someone who saw them and said, "Don't change a thing." The worst part is, you still have hope. You remember that one time they made you laugh so hard you couldn't breathe. That one night they looked at you like you were magic. That one day they called you their person. And you keep chasing those moments like they'll come back. But those are memories. They can't be the foundation of a relationship. A healthy love doesn't leave you guessing every day. It doesn't make you beg for attention. It doesn't punish you with silence. Sometimes the person you love the most is the one slowly breaking you without even realizing it. And that's what hurts the most. Knowing they're capable of being good to you, but they just won't. So now what? If you're nodding your head to all of this, if your stomach's in knots because it feels way too real, I want you to hear this loud and clear. It is not your job to fix what someone else refuses to fix with you. You deserve someone who shows up every day, not just when they're scared to lose you. You deserve texts that don't feel like homework, conversations that don't feel like interviews, a love that doesn't drain the life out of you. It's okay to walk away, even if you still love them, even if you don't have it all figured out, even if it hurts like hell. Leaving someone who makes you feel alone is an act of self-respect. It's how you tell your future self, "I chose me." And choosing yourself is never the wrong decision. You're allowed to want more. You're allowed to want someone who texts first, who listens, who remembers small things about you, who holds your hand without being asked, who doesn't disappear when things get hard. That kind of love exists. But you won't find it if you keep giving your whole heart to someone who's only giving you crumbs. At the end of the day, love shouldn't feel like a war where you're the only soldier. If you're the only one showing up, the only one caring, the only one dreaming of a future, you're not in a relationship. You're in a performance. And you're exhausted. Let this be the moment you finally stop. Stop saving them. Stop explaining your worth. Stop shrinking. The person who deserves you won't make you fight alone. They'll meet you in the middle, with both hands open. Because love is not supposed to feel like begging. It's supposed to feel like coming home.